Today's guest on Speak On It is a man that you may have had the opportunity to see in one of Tyler Perry's stage plays, a while back. You might have seen him on Empire, and you may more than just, I would say, is it a huge percent, since this show is like the #1 show on Netflix right now, that you've had the opportunity to see him as Varney on Beauty in Black, one of my favorite shows. Everybody, we have Terrell Carter here, and he is about to speak on it. Can you hit us with a speak on it today?
I'm here. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. I've always loved you. You know that.
Thank you. But now you are a singer, so I know you can do the speak on it.
You know what you need.
You just do your own version of speak on it, whatever you want to do.
Let me see. Speak on it. That's okay. Good. There we go.
He said that's all you getting today. All right.
We'll edit that out. We're going to do another one.
Okay. That's all good. How have you been?
I'm good.
It seems like life is really, the sun is shining on you right now.
The sun is shining. It's been really good. A good ride, the ups, I don't even consider them downs. I'm so happy to be riding this ride.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, we've been all tuned in to Beauty in Black on Netflix. That's a huge show. Did you realize it was going to be as big as it is when you joined the cast?
I've worked with Tyler so long. Working with Tyler Perry, you know that he has his built-in audience, but I didn't know that this would be this big. I knew it was different than anything he'd done. I knew, when I saw the cast, I remember when we did the first audition period when they brought everybody together, and we did the readings together, and I thought, oh, this is a special cast. And you think that all the time, but this is the first show that I had a chance to be a part of from the beginning. Empire and all the other ones I came in later. So this show was a first, but when I saw some of the script, I thought, this is nothing like he normally does.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, well, this second season is really, really wild. We'll get into it.
Okay, so here's my other question. Yeah. Seeing as though you've already worked with Tyler Perry before, different projects. Yeah. Did you have to audition for this role?
No, he actually called me to tell me I'm writing a role for you. And
that's dope.
Yeah, he did. He kind of let me go for it, but at the same time, I didn't know much about the project. I didn't know Varney. I didn't know, he was an attorney. Yeah, he did say, he's an attorney, but that pretty much was it. But yeah, he wrote it specifically for me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come back to the show in a little while, but it was just top of mind. We had to start it off like that because I love that show. I've been locked in. It's definitely a show that everybody's locked in on. I'll be hearing people talk about it, when I'm with my glam squad. They're like, did you see? So that show is really dope. So I've been knowing you for a minute.
Yes.
You were really good friends with my group member, Tamika Scott. Shout out to Tamika.
That's my bestie, yes.
Yes, you guys have performed together.
We went and Meet the Browns together years ago.
Yes.
That's how I started. Meet the Browns was myself, her, Trina Braxton. We were all in Meet the Browns.
So that's how you became friends.
That's how we became friends.
Yeah, she loves you.
I love Tamika.
Yes. So, I've had the pleasure of, being around you through Tamika and, just seeing you. And I've also seen you perform. Your vocals are amazing. But now you have stepped into the role of author.
Yeah.
Now, I invited you here because I saw a clip or something online that was talking about the book. Right. So you named your book Problem Child, and it's based on a true story.
Yes.
So let's get into this.
Right.
Let's get into it. First of all, what made you decide to become an author?
It wasn't even me deciding to become an author. It was more me having to tell a story that I didn't want to tell. A story that I didn't want to tell, a story that I wanted to keep secret, a story that I was ashamed of, a story that I thought that was what was going to be more of an issue if anybody found out. And then I realized that we all got our stuff.
Yeah, everybody does.
Everybody has their stuff. And I would tell my story when people found out to some friends, and I would see how they were intrigued at first, and then they would tell their stories, and we'd end up in tears, and then we'd end up healing together. And I thought to myself, here I am thinking that I'm here for the singing, and the acting or and people want to see all of that. And that's just what people see to be drawn to me. And I think my story is what built so much character in me. It made me who I am, no matter where I go and what show I'm on. All of that secondary compared to the fact that I'm here to reach people in a way that we so desperately needed, and I watched myself be healed by telling it, and I watch how it's healed people all across the world.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to kind of like give everybody like a brief background of what's, in the book. So you're telling the journey of being born to an 11-year-old mother who was disabled with one leg amputated.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
So my mom was 11 years old. She was special needs. She was one leg amputated at birth. And she had health problems and her organs never fully developed, and she was being taken care of by the family. And my dad was from the same family, and he was 26 years old, right?
When she was
healthy.
11.
And she was 11. So he was molesting her for years. I mean, we can just say that she got pregnant and had me at 11, but they don't know how long.
They don't know how long.
No, because he didn't admit I was his, so he definitely didn't admit how long he'd been doing it.
Okay, so how did they find out that you were here?
Because she's special needs. She has one leg amputated. The way that she looked, she's like a special needs child. She was like a special needs child, and my dad looks like this. I mean, I was identical to this man, identical to him. So
obvious.
It was obvious, and writing this story, Kandi, it was things that I thought I'd been free from years ago. I realized how this man, because they're all deceased now, how they're in their graves. And I thought to myself, I realized how it was ruining my relationships, how I felt like sometimes I never felt like I belonged places with people. No matter how talented you are, I always felt like, y'all, it's okay. Can I come in? Whatever. And I thought it was all because of that. But, that's why I told the story. Anyway.
So just for clarity, what was the extent of your mom's disability? Was it just her leg, or, did she speak normally? Did she?
She spoke normally, but she was like a 3-4-year-old, like a 4-year-old all of her life, pretty much, never got more than maybe 10. And her mental capacity, just the things, her learning capacity and how she operated was always like a little girl.
Did she even understand that you were her child?
Oh, she knew. Oh, yeah. She definitely knew that. Because she still knew, like, imagine, a 10-year-old. They could still kind of, know what's going on with life and everything. But she just was not really ready for the world ever.
So what was your relationship like with your mom?
Well, I remember being, it's funny. I don't read a lot of comments online a lot. And I read this one comment. This girl said, he said at 5 years old, he realized that his mom was young. And he don't remember that. Nobody remembers. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were arguing, me and my mom, over like a coloring book and some crayons. And I remember looking at her and she was pronouncing all of the words wrong. And I remember looking at her thinking, I'm smarter than she is. And I knew she was my mom, but I remember that was the turning point when I realized that this was something different. And I was thinking, I can't be mean to her anymore. I can't be, this is my little sister. She's my mom, but she's my little sister.
Gosh.
So my relationship with her was like brother and sister, and my little sister.
So who raised you?
My grandmother.
Oh, your grandmother.
Her mom, yeah.
And y'all were close?
Very close. My grandmother was my mom, my mother. And in the book, it's funny because I started like that when I find out that my grandmother died and they were asking, oh, your mom died? I said, well, no, it's my grandmother, but let me tell y'all the story.
Well, a lot of people are raised by grandparents.
Right. That's what Medea does so well.
Yeah. So many people can relate to that. I mean, I know a lot of people that definitely was kind of raised by their grandparent.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like if it's a young mother, they do be feeling more like a sister-brother relationship than parent-child. So at what age did you realize who your dad was?
Well, I always kind of knew, because I was the thing that shocked me wasn't that I wasn't that my mom was special needs, but what shocked me more is that I was never like anyone else in my family. They were all like, just, their minds were just, how can I say it? Whatever you've ever thought about one of the worst black families is in the dictionary, it was them. It was these people. I can't even admit.
Okay.
Just growing up and it's not just poverty, because a lot of us grew up in poverty, and that was fine, but it wasn't that. It was just the ignorance of how to treat each other. and everything was crabs in a barrel. Now this is even within your own, you know, family. So, but I remember being just a kid thinking these people are crazy. Like, so everything that they would talk about around you as a child, like, you know, the adults, like they were trying to hide, I would just decipher in my mind. And I was just looking and thinking, they don't think I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
You know, and how you know, and I used to curse a lot in my mind, by the way. Oh my God.
But not out loud.
Oh no, not aloud, but as a kid, I would just be cursing all of them out.
Yeah.
And I would be thinking like how my father could be so stupid. And how he's this and he's that and he's that. And I'm watching him run around and I'm looking like, and I'm like, y'all don't think they know. And my, you know, and then I just realized, you know, that I was nothing like these people either. So it wasn't the shock of not being like her, because either you're mentally, you know, ill, or you have special needs, or you don't. So,
yeah. So did you ever have a relationship with him?
No. Well, my father, the family kind of split up, and I went with my grandmother, my mom. And we went on, you know, and did our thing after my grandfather died. But my father ended up later on in life, when I was about 15, 16, just before I left, he had cancer. And he found out he had cancer. And that's when he wanted to call me to come over. And I had heard he had married a woman with 5 children at the time. And I remember how that made me feel. To think that you got your only, I couldn't imagine you being a man and having your only son, no matter how he got here, out into the world. And you can't, like, I can't imagine having a son. I don't care what I did. And I thought, and then you married a woman with 5 children and she had a son, you know? So I went to go see what he was about. I was thinking maybe this is going to be great. Maybe this is going to be some kind of relation. I had no idea about the cancer.
Gotcha.
And so I went and met him, and then